Welcome to the video of how to set up a test lab for ICE in laptop or PC. So for our lab we will use a virtual environment in which we will be using virtual ICE, virtual switch, virtual firewall, virtual client PC, and we will use our Windows PC for accessing the devices. We need VMware, Eve, WinSCP, ICE image, WinRAR, Win7 image, Eve client side apps, a firewall image and a L2 switch image for our lab to work. Okay, so let's start with VMware. You can download VMware from VMware official website. Okay, so our VMware player is downloaded. Now we will download Eve. For downloading Eve, we can also go to the Eve official website, that is eveng.net. So our Eve is also downloaded. We can move on to next download. Now we will download WinSCP from WinSCP official site. Okay, so our WinSCP is also downloaded. Next we will download Cisco ICE. So for this video we will be using ICE 2.6. From Cisco Download Center we will be downloading Cisco ICE 2.6 ISO image. Okay, so we have Cisco ICE version 2.6 full installation ISO image. Its size is about 8 GB. So to download it we need to log into Cisco portal. So if you do not have access to Cisco portal, you can take the help from your organization or your institution to download the Cisco ICE. You can also try searching for Cisco ICE image on Google. So accept the license agreement and your download will start. ICE is a very heavy image, so it will take time. I will be skipping the video. Okay, so our ICE is downloaded now and we can move to next download. Next we will download WinRAR to unzip the zipped files. Okay, so WinRAR is also downloaded. Next we will download Windows 7 image. So to download Windows 7 image I will be using a tool called Windows 7 ISO downloader. To download the Windows 7 image, just run the downloader tool. From this tool we will select the version. For this tutorial we will be downloading Windows 7 August 2018. We will select Windows 7 Ultimate 32-bit and language will be English US. Now select the browser through which you want to download the ISO image. So this is a large image, that's why I will be skipping the video. So it's done. Next we will download EveNG client side application. So by using these applications we can take the console access of virtual devices like switches, firewalls. We can also take the console of virtual PC in our lab. It also contains tools like Wireshark by which we can do our troubleshooting. So this is downloaded. Now we will move on to our next download. We will Google for Cisco ASA image. Let's try from networkhunt.com. Okay, done. So let's move on to our next download. Search for Cisco L2 IOU image. Let's try it from Network Hunt as well. So you can see many other images are also there. We will be using L2 image. Okay, done. So we will install WinRAR and unzip our zipped files. So first we will be unzipping our Eve, then we will unzip our ASA image. So our download part is complete now. Let's check for the image. Okay, it's there. So all right, everything is there. Now we can move on. let's start with the installation. We will be first installing the VMware. So you just need to click next button, uh, and it will be installed. When you install VMware, it will also install two virtual adapters. So let's check. Okay, so there are two virtual network adapters. One is VMNet 1 and the another one is VMNet 8. Okay, so let's have a quick look about the VMware. So this is my PC. I have 16 gigs of RAM, 4 logical core CPU and 1 TB of hard drive. On top of this system, I am running Windows 10. So Windows 10 is currently responsible for handling all the processes of my system, and it also controls how resources are being used by any application. So if I'm running any application, for example, if I'm running Microsoft Word, Windows is responsible to allocate the resources. So it may allocate a huge amount of resource or a limited resource as per the application requirement. So in the same way, if we are using VMware, we can have a separate resource allocated for it. So if I am trying to run ICE, I can say that for ICE please allocate 8 gigs of RAM and 2 cores of CPU, so that we can run it in an isolated environment, or the ICE will assume that it is running on a isolated environment. It will not come to know that it is running on any laptop or PC. So whenever we run or we install a VMware, what it does, it also installs some virtual network adapters. So let's see. Okay, so for me, it there are two adapters installed, that is VMNet 1 and VMNet 8. So VMNet 8 is basically a NATed adapter and VMNet 1 is a host adapter. So we have a IP of 192.168.112.1 with a subnet of /24 on VMNet 1, and for VMNet 8 we have IP of 192.168.75.1 with a subnet of 24. I'm also connected with Wi-Fi. So this is NATed. Now we will have our management connected with Eve on this VMNet 8, and we can have our ICE connected with VMNet 1, and we can also have our VMNet 1 connected with the Eve, so that we can connect this management with a firewall. Then it will be connected to a switch. This will be connected to the switch, and we can have our PC connected here. So we will have a topology where a firewall is having internet connectivity and a switch will have the connectivity with ICE, and we can do our lab on this. So this is how our virtual lab will look like. Now let's start with installation of Eve. For installation you just need to go to Eve folder, and there will be an OVA file. Just double click on that file. It will automatically be open into VMware, where you need to set the path where you want to install the Eve. I will be using my D drive to install the Eve. Just set the path and click import button. It will automatically be imported. After import, Eve will start. We will shut it down and change the hardware parameters which we want to define. Now start VMware Workstation Player. Go to Eve. When you click on Eve, there will be a edit virtual machine setting option. We will use only 2 cores of our processor. We will use 4 gigs of RAM for Eve. For network adapter, we will be using our VMnet 8, that is the NATed adapter, so that whenever we are connected to internet we will have access to internet via our Eve also. Now let's run the Eve. Once Eve is started, you will see an IP address which we will use to log into Eve on GUI. The default username and password for Eve is root and Eve, that is EVE. So once you log in, you will be asked the root password. Enter the password EVE. You just need to re-enter the password and just keep on pressing enter till this automated process ends. After completion, the Eve will restart again. Now we have our Eve started. So we will just use the IP which is 192.168.75.128 in my case. We will put that into our browser URL field and press enter. So we will get a ask for username and password. We will use admin and the default password is Eve, and we will get our GUI of Eve. We will sign out and then we will shut down our Eve for now. Next we will be installing ICE. So to install ICE, we will first run our VMware player. We will create a new virtual machine. We will browse for the image. So in my case it's in download folder. Then we will click next. We will select Linux. We will use Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 in our case. We will click next. We will change the virtual machine name to ICE and also the location. Again I am using my D drive for the ICE installation. I am going to create a new folder with the name ICE. Click on next. You need to provide a minimum of 200 GB of hard disk. It will not consume that much of hard drive, but still you need to provide that. Go to customize hardware. Change the memory to 8 gigs. For processor we will be using 2 cores and you need to turn on the virtualization. For network adapter we will be using VMnet 1. We will using the same VMnet 1 to connect to the switch in our ICE lab. We do not need any USB controller, we do not need any sound card, no printer is required. Okay, done. So click finish and your virtual machine is ready. Just play the virtual machine. So when the device will boot up, it will give you some option. uh, you can use this utility option to reset the password also. For this case we are just going to install ICE, so in our case we will be using first option, that is install Cisco ICE. So this installation is going to take a lot of time. In my case it took around 3 hours, so I will be skipping this installation process. So again you can see packages are being installed. We will keep skipping till we get the setup prompt. Okay, our ICE is installed now. So this is the first prompt which you will get when you have a new ICE installation. In the localhost login you need to type setup. After typing setup you get the option to enter the hostname. We will use ICE. We will use the IP 192.168.112.2 as it was the same as of our VMnet 1 subnet. Netmask will be /24. Default gateway, let's use 192.168.112.1 for now. We can change it later on. We do not want any IPv6. For DNS we can use any URL, like for this we will be using cloudpogo.com. Primary name server will be Google DNS server. Secondary name server we do not want. Okay, we will go with time.nist.gov.in. We do not want another NTP server. Time zone is UTC. We want SSH service. Username we will keep admin. Let's type admin @123. Confirm it. Okay, it is not going to work. We cannot use username in password. We can also not use Cisco in the password. So I will be entering a different one and confirming it. Okay. So again it will try to check pinging the gateway. I don't think it is going to ping. We do not want to retry it. No. Now again setup will continue after it. Again you need to wait for very long time. In my case it took around 55 minutes. Again I will be skipping the video. Okay, so we get the login console. Now we can use our username and password to log in into the ICE. So still only ICE console is up. If you try to log in using GUI you will not be able to, because the application processes takes time to restart. So we can check it using show application status ICE command. It takes a lot of time on your PC to completely boot up and start all the processes. So we will keep trying this command every 5 minutes. Okay, so our application service is now initializing. Once it gets running, we can log into ICE via our browser. Okay, so here we go. Our application server is running now. So just go to browser, type https colon double slash and the IP of your ICE. Use the username admin and the password. So it will be a little laggy on PC, but it still works good for our lab purposes. Initially, we will get a 90-day of license, which is also called evaluation license. So we have enough time to work and learn new things on ICE. So this is the ICE dashboard. You can navigate to different options and see what are the options present. Let's check the deployment mode. So you can see it's a standalone node. We can also check for any network devices which are connected. We can check for identities. So let's log off for now, and I will suggest not to shut down this. In place of that, just suspend the ICE node. It's because again, if you want to restart the node, it will take a lot of time, but suspend option is like putting the device into hibernate state. So it will boot up faster and it will boot up from the place where you left. We will be installing Eve client pack. So you just need to click on next button. You can select the application. It contains applications like Putty, Wireshark, VNC Viewer, which are very helpful in taking the console of devices. Okay, so it is finished installing. Now we will be installing WinSCP. We will use WinSCP to transfer files between Eve and our PC on which we are working. Okay, so installation is completed for WinSCP also. Now we will turn on our virtual machine. We will run our Eve. But before that, let's do some configuration. Like we will be adding a new network adapter, that will be VMnet 1, so that we can use this adapter to communicate to ICE. Okay, let's play the virtual machine. Now we will be using WinSCP to log into the Eve IP, so that we can transfer ASA image into the Eve. So just enter the IP address of Eve, username will be root and password will be Eve. Click on login. Go to the folder OPT, open it. Inside that folder go to UNT labs, then go to add-ons, then go to QEMU. Create a new folder or new directory, name it ASA hyphen 9.1.5. Open it, and on the left side go to your download folder and open ASA folder. Just drag and drop the hdd.qcow2 image. So you are done. Next you need to log in to Eve via putty. Just enter the IP address of Eve, that is 192.168.175, sorry, 75.128 in our case. Accept the SSH key, enter the password root in. Okay, now we just need to run this command opt slash unt labs wrapper unl wrapper, and we have to fix permissions for our new image. So the installation of ASA is done. Now we will again log in using WinSCP. We will now be installing our layer 2 device image. So just put on the up folder, go to opt unt labs, add-on, go to IOL bin, and there you need to drop the L2 image. So just drag and drop, it will automatically be transferred inside your Eve. Now to run this we also need license, so you can get the license uh, online available. You just need to save that file on your desktop, name it IOURC or IOUKeygen.py. Make it all files and save it. Now close this window, drag that py file into the same folder where you have put your L2 image. Open the putty, go to the device folder, just check for the image. Yeah, it's there. Run the command python 2, then iouKeygen.py. It will generate a license for you. Just copy paste that license into a new file. You need to copy this license from here. In WinSCP, create a new file, name it IOURC, paste the license content, save it, and you are done. You just need to do the fixed permission once again, that is, go to your evng prompt and type opt unity labs and fixed permission. Now again, for window installation, go to the WinSCP and log into your Eve. Go to opt unity lab, add-ons, QEMU, then add a new folder or new directory and name it Win 7. Done. Copy the ISO image of Windows 7 into that directory. You have to rename it into cd-rom.iso. Okay, so after renaming this file, we will go to Eve console and navigate to the Windows 7 folder. We will create a virtual hard drive where we will be installing our Windows 7. So to create a virtual hard drive, you can use the command as it is present on your screen. We will create a hard drive of size 30 gigs. Okay, so hard drive is created. Let's go to WinSCP, refresh it and see if we can find it. Okay, so it's there. Now log into your Eve using your default username and password admin and Eve. Create a lab. Okay, so in this lab we will also check our devices which we have installed previously, like we have installed ASA, the L2 images. So right click, select node, search for Cisco ASA, you will get it there. Let's change the RAM to 1024, that is 1 gigs. So your ASA is available. Now again go to nodes, search for IOL, make it 256 MB. Change the image to switch image. Also change the prefix to switch or SW. Click on save. So you can see switch is also there. Let's connect internet management interface with ASA. Also let's select our VMnet1 which is connected to ICE so that we can connect it to switch. So connecting devices in ICE is very easy. You just have to hover your mouse on device and click the orange button and drag it to the device which you want to connect. Now go to node, go to Windows. For the installation we will keep the RAM as 4096. Just turn it on, right click and click start. Once it is started, its color will be blue. Click on it and open the VNC console. So now our Windows has started and installation is in progress. Setting up Windows in this virtual machine is pretty similar to what we do in our laptops or computers. So you just need to follow those processes only, except for the hard drive, which we will see. Accept the license terms. Click on custom. So you cannot see any hard drive here, so go to drive option, go to load drivers, click on browse, select floppy disk B, go to storage and then go to x86, click on OK and click next. So once hard drive driver is installed, you will be able to see a 30 gig hard drive. Click on next. Okay, so our installation is started. You will be seeing the similar display which we see on the installation of Windows 7 system on laptop or PC. So enter your username. As it is a lab setup, we are not going to uh, enter password for it for now. We do not have the product key, so we will skip it for later. And also we will not use recommended setting for now. So once this setup completes, just shut down your PC. However, you can see, you can do some refresh, you can hover your mouse, you can test your system it is working correctly or not. So once your device is shut down, you need to commit your hard drive changes so that we will use this image as much time as much we want, and we do not need to reinstall this. To commit it, just check the lab ID, copy it, open the Eve console. You can use putty for that. You also need the device ID, so in our case it's Win3. So we will be logging to our Eve using putty. Username will be root and password will be Eve. Just go to folder cd opt unt lab temp 0, copy the ice lab id, then put a slash and copy the device id. In our case it's win3, so we will enter 3 and put a enter. Now we will commit this image using the command /opt qm bin qm image commit what io dot qcow2. It will take a bit of time, and once it is committed, your Windows system is ready to be used in lab as much time as much you want. You can also delete the CD-ROM image. So our installation part is completed now. Now we will be setting up our lab to test. So first of all, open the VMware player, go to ICE and check the interface which it is connected. It should be connected to VMnet 1. Okay, so it is connected to VMnet 1. Close it. Now go to the Eve and check it must be connected for management to NATed adapter, and the VMnet 1 should be connected to network adapter 2. Looks good. Turn on Eve. Open another instance of VMware Player and go to ICE. Turn it on. It will resume from the place where we have left it earlier. So our our Eve is on. So we will log into our Eve using the username, password, admin and Eve. We will create a new test lab. Save it. A new lab will be open. So what we are going to do in this lab, we will first use the management interface, that is Cloud 0, to connect our firewall with internet. As this interface is netted to our internet adapter or our Wi-Fi adapter, we will get internet on it. So management interface will be connected to the firewall, then firewall will be connected to a switch. We will connect the switch with our client PC, that is Windows 7. And another interface of the switch will be connected to ICE. So ICE is basically connected to Cloud 1 or VMnet 1. What we are going to do, we will be using that VMnet 1 to connect to switch, and as the switch is connected to VMnet 1 and ICE is connected to VMnet 1, they will be connected to each other. So let's start adding the devices. Let's start with searching for ASA. Give it 1 gig of RAM. Save it. ASA is there. Next we will add a network. We will use management 0 or Cloud 0 interface. Add this interface to firewall. Next we will add Cisco IOL image, that is our switch image. We will give it a RAM of 256 MB. We will change the name prefix to switch and use switch icon for it. We will also add our window PC. We will use 2 gigs of RAM for it. We will now attach our VMnet 1, that is Cloud 1, with switch. Attach all the devices with switch, and now just align the devices so that it all looks good. Okay, so everything looks good. Now as you can see that we have attached one part of switch with VMnet 1. One interface is connected with VMnet 1, which is having a subnet of 192.168.112.0 in our case. So we will be using this IP on whole of our inside network, so the network doesn't become complicated. So on our ASA interface we will be using DSCP on the outside, and inside we will using the same subnet, that is 192.168.112.0. From DSCP we will be getting the subnet of 192.168.75 dot something on our ASA outside interface, which will have the internet connectivity. So let's start our ASA. Turn on our switch as well. Meanwhile, let's check the ICE. We will use the command show application status ICE to see whether our application server is running or not. Let's configure the switch first. Okay, so we have already used the IP 192.168.112.1 on our VMnet 1 and .2 on ICE. So we will be using interface VLAN 1's IP as 192.168.112.0 112.3 with a subnet mask of 24. Let's ping the ICE. Okay, looks good. So just save our configuration. Now let's start with the configuration of ASA. Just click on it, open SSH client. Putty session will be open for you. No password is required here. Go to the configuration mode. We will change the host name to ASA. We will configure our outside interface, that is ETH0 with DSCP. We will use the interface IP for ETH1, that will be 192.168.112.4, as we have used the IP 2 on ICE, 3 on switch. Let's check our interface configuration. Looks good. We have been assigned a IP of 192.168.75.131. Let's ping Google. Sorry. Okay, so Google DNS is reachable. We will also need to configure NAT for our inside users so that they can access the internet. So we will create a NAT for them. Okay, so NAT configuration is done. We will save our configuration and exit from the ASA console. Now we will turn on our Windows. Meanwhile, let's check our ICE. Okay, so application server is running. We can log into the ICE now. So we will use the IP 192.168.112.2. We will use our username, admin, and password we have set. In case you forgot your password, you can always reset it from the console. Okay, let's check our Windows. It's starting. Let's configure our Ethernet interface. So we will be using IP 192.168.112.5 on it, as we have used the IP 123 and 4. We will use our ASA interface as a gateway, and we will use Google DNS for URL to IP resolution. Okay, it seems we are connected. Now let's open Internet Explorer and browse for some website. Let us open netsec.live. It's working. Let's also try to ping some other URLs. Okay, it's not working because we haven't allowed the stateful inspection of ICMP packets. So just go to the ASA console, use command fixer protocol ICMP, and we are done. Now let's ping again. Okay, it's pinging now. Let's move on to ICE. For our lab setup, we will be testing the radius authentication and map authentication. So let us start with adding our switch in the network devices. Click on add. For name we will use SW. Our switch IP is 192.168.112.3. Go to radius authentication setting and use the share secret as netsec. Save it. We are done with adding the device. Now we will create an user. Go to administration, go to identities, add a new user. For our lab we will use a user with the username of netsec and password will also be netsec. Submit. Before submitting you can assign it to all user groups. Okay, so due to password policy our password is not being accepted. No worries, we will go to setting, change the user authentication setting and remove all the password policies from there. We will just save it, go back once again to the identities, add the user, now use the same password again, add the user to all accounts group, save it, submit. Now it's done. Next we will add the MAC address of our Windows PC. So go to the CLI, type ipconfig space slash all. You can find the MAC address of your Ethernet interface there. We will add that MAC address to the internal endpoints in ICE so that we can use this MAC address for map authentication. Go to work centers, go to identities. In the endpoints, click add button, add the MAC address. You can provide description for that. We will also use a static group assignment. We will categorize it under workstation and save it. So our identity part is complete. Now let's create a policy. So we can see there is a default policy. So let's check the authentication policy. So map policy and .1x policy already exist there. So no need to create a new one. Let's check the authorization policy. So we have the policy if network access authentication passed, permit access, looks good. So no need to create policy on ICE, everything is done. Now let's get back to Eve, go to switch and configure it for authentication with AAA. So first we will need to run the command AAA new model. Now we will run all the commands for configuring our AAA. So we will run AAA authentication .1x default group radius. Next we will add our radius server. So in our case the address of our server is 192.168.112.2, which we have tested the connectivity, and our shared secret is netsec. Run the command .1x system auth control. Now let's configure the interface. So in our case, interface E0 by 2 is connected to our PC or the client PC. So first let's make it a access port. Run the command authentication port control auto. So as soon as you run the command authentication port control auto, you will see the interface is down. Now we will set the authentication order to mab and .1x. Then we will run the command .1x PI authenticator, and we are done with the configuration of switch. We can check the configuration with show run int 0 by 2 and you can see the configuration. Just write the configuration. Now let's get back to our Windows PC and try to ping yahoo.com once again. You can see it is not pinging. Let's check for authentication session. So you can see the device is not authenticated right now. We can enable the .1x authentication and map authentication by going into the services. So just go to the services.msc, go to wired auto config service, turn it on. You will set it to automatic, start the service, and as soon as the service is started, you can see the device is authenticated. So it basically happens that the network adapter is restarted. For map authentication, you do not need to provide the wired auto config. So let's check the live logs. You can see that the device is authenticated or authentication is successful. Now let's check whether our Radius server is working with username or password or not. So for that, let's go to switch, run the command test AAA group radius and the username, that is netsec, then password. Oops, we forgot to add legacy. Okay, so you can see user was successfully authenticated. Check for the logs and you can see that the user netsec is authenticated. So our lab is completed and it is working very fine.